Hello and welcome to Meet Our Makers. I am your host, Jeremy J. Fissette. On this episode, we get to meet Raphaelle Standell-Preston. Raphaelle is probably best known as the lead singer, guitarist, and lyricist for the Canadian rock band Braids, but she also has a side project named Blue Hawaii. In Braids, she's known for making very artistic, somewhat experimental art rock. In Blue Hawaii, she and her bandmate Alex create very dancey, groovy, fun pop music. In this chat, Raphaelle and I talk a bit about both of those bands and both of the worlds she inhabits within each one. We talk about her writing process and what it's like to perform on stage, as well as what it's like to be a musician right now during the coronavirus. We also get a little bit sidetracked in a political discussion, but it was really fun. Now, fair warning, there is a little bit of an audio issue as her quarantine cabin has a little bit of a spotty internet connection. But if you bear with us, I think you'll find that it's a fun, engaging, and interesting conversation. So please enjoy, and thank you for listening. This is me meeting Raphaelle Standell-Preston.
It's a mixtape attitude.
Cool. Yeah, and you can hear there's a very serious dance influence on this project.
Very serious.
You guys have always been, you've always been leaning that way. You've always been sort of, in my mind, sort of an electronic duo. But this mixtape and then the last album, Open Reduction, Internal Fixation, kind of, I feel like you've been leaning a little bit more in that direction lately. Has that been purposeful? Like you're just trying to dance more?
Yeah, actually, I was doing an interview the other day with Loverboy magazine from Barcelona, and I was just talking. I guess I was like reminiscing about how I was like improperly diagnosed and like improperly medicated, and yeah, it was like the only thing that really lifted me up was just like going to the studio once I'd kind of tapered off some meds, taken a little bit of weed gummies, and gotten myself back on track naturally. But yeah, it was so important for my soul, and I would just go to the studio, and we were having to work remotely. I'd had all my tours canceled with my other band Braids, and then Alex was stuck in Berlin, had flights canceled to Montreal, and so yeah, we just sent stuff back and forth, and it was so joyous and so liberating, and we just.
Your audio cut out again.
Yeah.
There you are. Yeah, and I've seen in the I guess the press materials that you've described it as your most like joyous recording, and I think that definitely comes through.
Cool. Yeah, I think so too. It would be weird if people felt really sad listening to it. I would be surprised.
I know. No, it's very, very dancey. It's very house influenced. I don't know how anyone would.
But sadness lurks everywhere. Sometimes
it's
you're
true.
having a bad day, a bad week.
Well, I mean, even with Braids, I mean, you have some songs that have a good groove or beat or dancey groove to it, but Braids lyrically tends to be a little more serious, I would say.
Sorry, what tends to be?
The lyrics tend to be more serious, but the groove is more dancing.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't write about roses and flowers all the time.
So was that sort of the engine behind, I guess we should say the name of it, Under One House, the upcoming mixtape? Was that the engine behind it, or what were some of the other sort of fueling themes behind it? Because I think I read that you recorded it, or wrote it at least, quite a while ago.
Yeah, we wrote it actually quite quickly again. It was like started in October of last year, just like in a session that when Alex came to Montreal, when we were getting ready for our US tour and UK and Europe tour. And then we took some of the songs on tour and then COVID hit in March, and that's when we started to like really flesh out the recordings of them after having done them live on stage in the fall time.
Is that a common tactic that you guys typically do? Like you'll test stuff on the road before you record it?
No, because we don't tend to tour that often. We're definitely like very much a studio project, and like touring is like a really lucky element when we get it. But yeah, on this one we got to play it live. So I remember our last show was in Paris in a sweaty basement. Or was that the last one?
No, New York.
Oh, New York. Yeah, right.
Was it also a sweaty basement?
No, but it was really, really fun. Yeah, it was really, really fun.
So that must be interesting then. So you don't get to tour too often with Blue Hawaii. So then to get to tour and try all these sort of new songs out, was it fun, or sort of like a new way to look at these songs, getting to play them to a new audience, like they had never heard them before?
Like it was almost as though they knew some of the drops. I think because we were being a little bit more obvious as to like where things were gonna drop, like particularly in the song Let It Be Us. We have just like this huge vocal build, and then I go into this really crazy Let It Be Us like vocal part, and people were like, yeah, they're like, I know that, I know you're going there. And I'm like, I'm going there. So that was really fun. And yeah, I just think that the songs kind of more obviously like led people into moments that they could like grasp onto. It wasn't that like weird. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know a whole lot about the backstory of Blue Hawaii. Does Blue Hawaii predate Braids, or did they kind of come about at the same time?
It kind of predates Braids in terms of like when we first released our record, because everybody was in university. I didn't go, and we were all in Montreal, and I was just kind of like bumming around, meeting people, going to parties, making music in my bedroom, and I met Alex. So yeah, the band was really busy at the time. Like they were all doing the first year of their undergraduate degree. And we ended up releasing a record called Blooming Summer before Braids' first record, Native Speaker. So yeah, like Braids has been around since I was like, I think we started the band when I was 17, but Blue Hawaii beat Braids to the first record release.
So then Blue Hawaii, did it just kind of come naturally from when you met Alex, or was it sort of just like this sort of like kismet scenario?
Yeah, it was quite kismet. It was like a venue that he ran with his brother called Lab Synthèse, like pretty important like DIY Montreal institution back in like 2009, I guess. Was that back where? 2009. And yeah, he was working the door, and I came in like a really crappy snowsuit. I didn't really know how to be fashionable yet. I was coming from Alberta, and everybody was so fashionable there. It was so crazy. And I noticed Alex at the door, and he noticed me, and we just had like this moment where we like just locked eyes and kind of flirted a little bit. And then yeah, we ended up becoming like, I lived not too far away. I lived down the street, and we just spent a lot of time together, and we started recording, and then we started dating, and we lived together for a long time, and dated for a long time, and now don't date but are best friends. And
yeah, I mean, I feel like the albums have almost sort of charted that story you just told us.
Yeah.
Because that is something that comes up, as I'm sure you probably are aware, that comes up a lot in the coverage of your albums, because it is so, you guys are so, I don't want to say transparent, but you're very honest about the story between you two, and then you just sort of use that and channel it into each album, and you can kind of see the whole progression.
For sure. Yeah, we're pretty Casper about it all.
And
yeah.
Raphaelle, are you the sole lyricist in Blue Hawaii, or does Alex write lyrics with you as well?
I'm the sole lyricist, yes.
Okay.
In all my projects.
Okay.
I don't want to sing somebody else's lyrics.
I totally get that. And do you both work on the music then?
We do, yes.
Okay.
Alex,
Oh, you cut out again. Sorry.
can you hear me?
Now I can hear. I don't know what it is,
Okay.
but it comes and goes.
It's the internet connection.
It's the internet connection. But yeah, Alex is more of like the heavy-handed producer, like definitely does the beats. Sometimes he'll present a pretty like already made song. It really switches back and forth. Like I'll, for some songs I'll do all the bass lines and the synths. For other songs he'll do all of that. But Alex is definitely like the genius in terms of just like knowing how to like what synth to use, how to use it, what drum fill to use, how to use it. And I'll be like, really expressive with him and be like, hey, yeah, I'd really like to do this and this and this and have this drop here and have this pull out and then have this filter in. And he's just like, okay, and just does it. And it's way better than what it is I had said. So
That's very like wizardry of him.
he is kind of like a wizard. Agor, where'd you go? Do you know I can do the interview? I'm just talking at. Do you want to talk?
You talk.
You want me to talk?
Yeah, you talk. Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking.
I'm here for both of you, whoever wants to talk.
Agor's gonna do his thing. Go do your thing, Ag. I got this on lockdown, Ag. We're in lockdown.
Yeah, lockdown on lockdown.
Yeah.
So if you are then the sole lyricist for both, then I can ask you this anyway. So then how do you, or even do you, delineate a Blue Hawaii song from a Braids song?
I think that Braids is quite serious. Blue Hawaii really isn't. I think that's kind of the first thing. Also, like for me, it's so important to feel the energy of others and to incorporate the energy and the spirit that others bring one another. There's Austin and Taylor and Alex in this project. So this one also, like with Blue Hawaii, it's just so heavily it's so referential for me, and I really love that, where like I'll study something like again and again and again. Like I'll like study how a Whitney Houston vocal is sampled, or how like Todd Terhey samples like Dolly guitar sounds, and then figure out kind of how to do that. So it's kind of like I tend to study more in Blue Hawaii and reference a lot more than I do in Braids.
So Braids maybe is more like automatic, almost like you just kind of let it out, as opposed to studying and trying to maybe have a specific end result.
For me, I'm kind of like a first take, second take wonder. Like I really, if I don't get it, it's not good. Like I'm not gonna hash things out. I have hashed things out in the past with Braids, like where on our first record, I did 500 takes of certain songs.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just grueling shit. But now it's like, yeah, just get it out. And I find that the studying that I do is really on my own time, like when I'm going for a run or listening to music at home and putting stuff on that I'm kind of, I'm just paying attention to and studying. But everything is very, very immediate in both projects, and more so in Blue Hawaii. Like it's so fast. Like we've had 3 recording sessions here, and we've probably written like 30 something. So
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But that's good. There's a certain I guess there's like a certain honesty in that approach too, though, because you get that immediate result, that immediate product of whatever it is that you're channeling at that moment.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like you don't want to massage it too much because it starts to lose its essence. And I think that like the energy that it just naturally holds when you first put it on the page.
So are you typically like a lyrics first songwriter, or do you let other music elements come into the fold first?
Like today, for instance, we did I kind of like referenced Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven, like the da 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 da, that line. So we did that on like a synth, did a string sound, and then we did a sub bass, and then I did a acoustic guitar line, and then we got a loop going, and we changed it into 3/4 instead of 4/4. So we got like a little bit of a swing going, and then I just wrote some lyrics really fast, and then I sang them. So it was like, yeah, it's, I don't know. I used to sing in gibberish, and I don't really do that anymore. But sometimes you have to sing in gibberish, like if you hear a line and you just don't have the right words.
Yeah, just to preserve the melody.
Yeah. Do you make music as well? Because I feel like you're very intuitive in terms of how you're talking about music.
I do. I mean, I do for myself mostly.
Sick.
No, I mean, I've been making music for a few years, so I'm interested in this kind of thing.
Sick.
um, and I am a very lyric-centered person. I feel like for
Mhm.
myself, I have a little bit of trouble, like I don't know what the word is, like grounding a song if I don't have the word first. But that's
Mm,
probably because I'm making music by myself, like with one or two instruments.
right.
So maybe if I was with another person or a group of people like you are in Braids or Blue Hawaii, you can sort of collectively create this place where your lyric can then go exist.
Well, something that I find really helpful, just as like a little, I don't know, maybe something to try, is like putting on a song that you find really resonates with you, and then writing lyrics from that song, like just having little words pop out to you and kind of flipping the words, maybe like flipping the meaning, and then stopping the song and then going off of like maybe those one or two lines that you picked up, and then really expanding the song like completely outside of like whatever body of work you just listened to.
Hmm, that's
That's
interesting.
something, yeah, it's fun. Like I did that actually with couple words in there, that just sounded really nice. And then I put the song on and kind of, I got a little sad, maybe a little emotional, got in the right mood. And then just from those, one or two words or two sentences, and you can just kind of flow into something that you're feeling or that you're interested in.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah,
you're able to like go into like a session, whether it's on your own or with another person, where you have a poem, and you can move the lines around, you can add stuff, you can ad lib stuff. So
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely made recordings where I make up words on the spot, and sometimes I keep them, sometimes I don't, but it can be very sort of educational
Yeah,
exercise.
for sure.
That is one of the benefits of making music alone in my room, is that I can like just do whatever I want and change it whenever I want, and that
It's so
I
crazy.
do like that control.
Yeah, it's so crazy that we can do that.
I know. Not, we weren't always able to do that, and now it's like I can't even imagine not having that option.
Yeah, I know. It was so crazy. Like there's this app called, oh my God, what is it called? It's like Voltaire, some crazy shit like that. And it's like a trap and hip hop app where like you have like vocoder and you have like auto tune, and there's a whole community of people who like upload beats,
Hmm.
and you can just sing over it. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. I made so many raps, and I was just like,
That I'm sure will
what
all
is
see the
this?
light of day really soon, right?
Well, I have been rapping. It's
Oh,
really
good.
interesting because I listen to so much hip hop and rap and like kind of, pop rap like Drake or Pierre Bourne and stuff. And so it's just little verses here where you're just like waiting for the light to hit the crystal, shimmering, glimmering, and you just say something really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd like to be born into a rapper. That would be really nice.
Well, you do. I mean, you do sort of, even in Braids, sometimes have a sort of speak sing sort of uh, technique sometimes. So I don't know
For sure.
if that's part
Yeah.
of it as well.
It's pretty different though if you're like a rapper,
True.
Like if you're that would be really cool.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Um, so speaking of songcraft, I wanted to ask about the fact that I think anyway that we kind of touched on this already, but that you tend to be a very candid lyricist.
Uh-huh.
Um, you've written in Braids and in Blue Hawaii probably, although you did say it's a little less serious, so maybe less so. But even about the relationship issues, I mean, you've written a lot of very serious songs,
Mhm.
and usually I would say with great emotional honesty. And I'm just wondering, is there ever a temptation to not do that? Is there ever a temptation that you feel to be more metaphorical or abstract to sort of hide away from that? Or do you prefer to just be super upfront about it all?
Yeah, I'd say now I'm being more metaphorical. I wouldn't use the word hide. I
Mm,
think that's the last thing that I want to do in life.
okay.
Um, ever. But I think for me, just using words and playing around with their beauty and their like descriptive potential and masking potential instead of hiding, I guess
Hmm.
I'd say, or just like their ability to shapeshift a little bit. That's kind of more exciting for me right now. But I think that for me, sometimes you just and I think that there's certain topics that I discuss where I don't want there to be any room for misunderstanding.
Mm.
You know, like if I'm talking about like climate change, or if I'm talking about, you know, um like sexual justice and feminism, like to me there's not a lot of gray room
Hmm.
in those issues, at least if I'm speaking about it personally. So I try to just be like pretty cut and dry with it. But in like, you know, Flourish Perish, Untogether, Blooming
Hmm.
Summer, Need a Speaker, like those records are, yeah, a little bit more metaphorical. I think as I got older, I just became a little bit more like, all right, this is like what I'm feeling, and well,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, now definitely like kind of returning to poetry.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm really 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 happy with the words that I'm writing right now, for sure.
So how did you end up landing on that? I hope you don't mind me asking a Braids question.
No, that's fine. Yeah, Alex,
How did
peace out.
That's true.
It's the Raph interview now.
That's a very good point. So then, okay, so I do want to talk then about
Yeah,
Snow Angel,
sure.
because there is sort of that. I don't know if it's infamous or whatever, but you know, the long spoken word part of
Yeah.
Snow Angel. I don't know if people have asked you about that already, but how did you end up landing on both kind of composing it and then choosing to use it, because it's such an audacious choice, you
It is
know,
quite
for that,
audacious.
for I mean for anything, but also just to like couch in the middle of this relatively placid song.
Right. Um, that's so interesting. I love that you use the word couch.
I'm an English teacher too, so
Oh, okay, great. Because yeah, you're using a lot of like really awesome words.
sorry.
I'm taking bold risks. How
Yeah.
audacious of me. Um, but yeah, I guess oh, Alex is speaking German. That's so fun. He's speaking to his girlfriend in Berlin. Yeah, so for Snow Angel, that was like written right when I hate saying his name, but Trump
Hmm.
was elected. What do you call that? What do you call that again?
Oh
When
wait,
you like,
you cut out. What do you call what?
oh, what do you call it when like you when you're brought into office as a president?
Oh, inaugurated?
Oh, thank you. Inaugurated. English teacher 101 here. So well, that would be like social studies, I guess. But yeah, so when he was inaugurated, I think it was like a few days later that I like was going to the studio. I'd had do you know the band Snail Mail? Lindsay
Yeah.
Jordan? I've known her.
Oh no, we lost you. I'm gonna keep recording though. You're back.
Oh God.
It's okay.
That was the universe being like, you're not allowed to ask Braids questions.
Yeah, they were like, "Fuck you. This is a Blue Hawaii interview."
But here, I'll just say really quickly. So yeah, Lindsay Jordan, I've known her forever. And since she was like a kid, a teen bopper. And so she was passing through Montreal with her band Snail Mail. She was still in high school. I think she's in like grade 11 or something. And
That is insane, by the way.
yeah, she's amazing. She's a lovely, lovely human being. She's very smart, very kind. And yeah, so she passed through Montreal, and I was like, yo, girl, like, come stay at my house and I'll take care of you and your band. And I got them bagels and breakfast, and I had them at my house, and I went to their show at Casa, which is like a little one in the front row, just me. I was single, and I'm single again. I'm just constantly single, it seems. But anyways, and so I went to see her show alone, and I felt like it was so nice to have them there, and she was talking to me, being like, oh yeah, there's like this label and this label, and Pitchfork like is really into me, and this manager wants me and this manager. And I was like, well, girl, like, slow down. She's like, but I don't know. I got into New York University for like English for creative writing. And I was like, maybe you should take this up. I was like, Lindsay, this stuff doesn't really come around much. And she's like, yeah, kind of figured it out. And so it was really interesting, like where I'd spent, my whole life, or like not my whole life, but like a large portion of my early teens and early 20s, where I was just like couch surfing. At like 26, giving her advice, and then I took them to their car, and they warmed it up, and it was like -25, and the car was really slow to start, and they were all fed. And then I went up to the studio, and the next day I slipped on the stairs when I was going up to the studio, and it was so cold, and I was just like lying on my back in like the pattern of a snow angel, and I just felt like old. I felt frustrated. I felt like I occupied wisdom, but that I was really worried about where the world was heading with Trump. And I just went to the studio, and I just wrote the lyrics really quickly. It was just kind of like stream of consciousness, and like I was thinking about editing it down. I was like, this is a lot. This is blah blah blah, necessary to have all these parts. And I was like, oh, but this is so interesting, because it's like the kind of thought process that we have with regards to how we're constantly inundated with information, and inundated with like anxiety, like anxiety being a result of the current state of our world, and just like social media and expectation and news and fake news and money and getting advertised shit all the time, and people like bleeps and bloops coming up on your phone and stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, I can't edit this. It's really important that this is annoying and long and meandering and audacious, as you put it. So I guess like the guitars were, how did we write? I don't really remember how we wrote the song, but the song is kind of in 3 parts. So definitely, like you really referencing Jenny Haval. I think Pitchfork put it in an article that like how did they put it, that I was like an overconfident like beat poet, like doing my first challenge or something really fucking like pompous like that,
Yeah.
Pitchfork can get. They're great, like some of their stuff's great, but like sometimes they can just like sock it to you a little bit, and you're like, ooh, should I be insecure? No, I'm not going to. But yeah, so it was just like, it was kind of my first foray into more spoken word than I'd ever done before. So they definitely got that right. I definitely did have to be overconfident. I think that you have to, if you're gonna like scream about polar bears floating away on a brick bike. So
yeah, I mean, that definitely takes a certain conviction to both perform it that way, and then, like you said, to not edit yourself and to just leave it kind of all there, sort of raw.
That also that push to do it as such also came from Chris Walla, who we worked with really closely on that record. He is such a. Do you know Chris Walla?
I don't know him, but I know who he is.
You know who he is. Yeah. Because he used to like write and produce for Death Cab, and left that band, and is now, doing his own production work and writing work. And he was just so like, scream it louder, Raph, like scream it louder. And I remember Austin was like, oh, I don't like that you're yelling. And Chris was like, why don't you like that she's yelling? Do you not like seeing that she's angry? And he was like, no, it's making me uncomfortable. And he was like, good. He's like, sit with it. Let it make you uncomfortable. It's really important to hear a woman get mad, you know, and be supported in that. So yeah, he really pushed for me to like scream. So that was really cool. That was really, really liberating, and also really scary and shocking, you know, to see myself like get and cry, like just cry so heavily behind a microphone. Like I was watching this video that was circulating at the time of like a polar bear quite literally floating away on a brick of ice, and it was starving. It was just like completely depleted. It was so sad.
So were you crying while recording?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was just like fucking like yelling.
Yeah.
I was stomping around, like I was like smoking in between takes, drinking, crying, feeling like a piece of shit, like just confused. Like I felt completely embodied in that role that I was trying to perform.
But that's also sort of perfect for what it's about, because it's so much about that sort of self-awareness and recognizing yourself in your own strengths and flaws, and sort of like realizing where you are in the context of everything else.
Yeah, and kind of recognizing like the irony of it in a sense too, and like really leaning into that. Yeah, it
Do you
was.
think you'll ever perform it live?
Oh yeah, we have. It's actually
I
so good.
Okay. I know you've done a few like Instagram live and YouTube live shows. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure if you had played that or not.
we did. Yes, we did. We definitely did, and we also played it at. We did like our first live show like in COVID, which is so weird.
Mm.
Oh, it was so weird. It
I
was
didn't know
so.
you had done that.
It was really weird. I didn't like
Was it
it.
good at all though, to like be back
Oh,
playing in front of people, or was it too weird?
no, I'd say it was too weird.
Oh no. How did you guys do it?
So it was put on by some really awesome promoters in town who we've worked with for years. Those guys turned black. And it was at this gorgeous venue that we've played before called Le SAT, and it was in the dome. So it's like in this part of the building right at the top that's like structured into like this cone, this dome, and they have the ability to like project things on the ceiling to make it look kind of, you know, 3D and like, and just like you're inside of whatever it is that they're projecting. So that was really special. And there were some other bands that were playing, and we closed the night, and there were all these beanbag chairs, like 50 of them, that were spaced around the room, and all these cameras, because they were also live streaming it, and then all of these like laser like projectors. And it was so quiet and removed, and everybody was spaced out, and nobody was like, people were talking, but it was like they were having to kind of talk loud sometimes because they were like 2 meters away.
Yeah.
And they had masks on, and some of them didn't. I was kind of worried about it because like, you know, when people would like get up to get a drink, they were supposed to have their mask on, but then they didn't. Somebody was coughing.
Oh no.
I was telling jokes, no one was laughing.
Ugh.
It was just hard. And then, you know what? I started to have a meltdown in my mind on stage about how much money we weren't making on stage.
Yeah.
I was like, what's my guarantee at the show? I was like, oh, it's I'm getting paid $138. How much is my sound person? Oh, they're X amount of dollars. Okay, how much loss is that? How much was the cab? How much was the food?
Right.
And I ended up like in the morning, I went out and had pizza and a drink with money that I didn't have or that I didn't make. And I action as to like how much we would have made at a regular Montreal, you know, headline show or whatever for the record. And there's something like a 620% drop. You know? And so anyways, I just had this like kind of weird like meltdown with like, oh my God, like, you know, music is already so like, the lack of money for behind music and thankfully, being Canadian, you know, we have government funding, thank God. I don't know how artists are doing it in America,
I know.
especially with not being able to tour now. Because, like, you know, we've had some emergency funding come in, which, like, thank you, Canada Council Factor, you know, all those granting bodies. But it's just like, it's really, really fucking weird.
Yeah, and I know they have been doing more shows recently. I'm here in Connecticut, and we just started doing shows, but only at this one place. It's like a farm, or at least it's called a
Oh,
farm.
cool.
It's an outdoor thing, so there's
Uh-huh.
like a designated setup, 6 feet apart, all that stuff. But I have not gone. I still feel weary. Like I don't feel
Hmm.
comfortable going yet.
Yeah.
And I think it would be hard, like you're kind of expressing. I think it would be hard to perform naturally, at least in a scenario like that.
Well, I think that maybe, and I was like, okay, what went wrong? Like, why was I not? Oh, can you still hear me? I just got a notification that my internet connection is unstable.
I can hear you right now.
Okay, cool. Okay, sick. But yeah, so I was like, what did I do wrong? And I was like, oh, I went into the show with like totally unrealistic expectations. Because the
Mm.
last shows that I played, you know, was in Paris with Alex in a sweaty basement, people taking their shirts off. And that was in New York, you know, sold out venue. Again, very sweaty, bodies touching bodies, yelling, lots of noise, lots of bass. And so I was walking into it with that energy expectation. And I didn't
Mhm.
prepare myself mentally to be like, okay, Raph, this is what it's going to be like. There's going to be people in masks and beanbag chairs, and no one's going to
Mhm.
say anything, or they're going to talk across each other in the chairs. So I think going into another, probably wear something really like maybe slightly solemn. And because I was wearing like a high pony and like white pants and a tube top, you know, I was like ready to throw down. So I think I would definitely change my attitude and approach and just what it is I'm wearing the next time I do a show
Right.
in quarantine, and probably for a while after.
Yeah, I think it is gonna. I mean, it's gonna be strange for a while after too. I think
Yeah, I don't think we're ever returning to something. I think that we're in a new chapter
most
now.
likely
Yeah. How
we're
do you
like in an
feel about
interlude
that?
right now.
How do you feel about being in a new chapter, if you believe that?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm nervous about it. I think we have a little bit longer to go in this. I'll call it an interlude.
Okay.
I do agree with you that whatever is on the other end of this will not be identical to what was on the starting end of it. Um,
Hmm.
but I just think I'm like interested in it.
Yeah.
I'm very curious. I keep saying I'm curious where we're going.
What makes you
Um,
nervous? Like
I don't know.
what aspects?
I guess just sort of not knowing when this quarantine phase will be over.
Right.
That sort of unknowing is a
Uh-huh.
little bit unnerving.
Mm-hmm.
And also just because you keep getting conflicting reports about when it might be over and when it's not going to be over by, and then we have the whole presidency
Oh my
scenario, which
God.
is
Yeah, in the US. Yeah.
mortifying.
Oh, it's mortifying living on the other side of the border. Like it.
I would think it's mortifying living on the other side of the world. I mean, it's
Well,
the implications are global, and it's so embarrassing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I unfold with what it is that you are all going through, and I wouldn't feel embarrassed. I would actually feel really proud on aspects of your country, and its people. I
Mhm.
think that like the revolution that's happening, the protests, I think like even the Democratic Party is just like coming together so strongly, like in ways that I haven't seen them before.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, Joe, I have a soft spot for Joe, but like a lot of people are a little surprised where they're like, really, Joe was the best thing on. And I was like, well, he ran for, I don't know if you listened to that daily episode, but he ran for president so many times, you know, and like
Yeah. Yeah.
he was, you know, he was groomed for this. And also it's just so interesting with like the pain that that man has gone through, the
Oh,
emotional
for sure, for
pain.
sure.
And so the fact that, you know, the country, America, is in this state of a massive need for healing. And then you have somebody with Joe who really understands sorrow. It coming potentially into the picture to lead and heal the country. That's my hope.
I definitely appreciate that view, and I agree with that view of it, because yes, it's like it is like a sort of national embarrassment that he's our president, but at the same time, there is a lot to be impressed by and proud about, in terms of what people are doing about it and trying, or at least trying to do about it.
Yeah.
And he didn't win the popular vote, and
No.
that's so clearly reflected in what's going on right
Oh
now.
my God, yes.
And I hold on to that like a little golden nugget. I hold on to it, and I do sincerely think that if, God forbid he wins again, I think that'll happen again, and I do take comfort in that we, the majority of us, however slim the margin is, the majority of us, I think, know what's up and know what we need and are trying to steer us there. And I agree. I mean, Joe is not my first choice, but he wasn't my last. And he, at the very least, he will be someone, and Kamala as well, will be, people who have empathy.
Exactly.
And even if I don't agree with him on everything, which by far I definitely don't, but like you said, he has experienced pain, which means he's experienced loss, and he has feeling, which is not necessarily something that we can really say about our current president.
No, you can't say that at all.
No.
At
And so
all.
leading, and that was like the one thing that was like the one thing I gave to Marianne Williamson,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Oh
way
yeah.
back in the primaries.
The crystal
Oh
ball.
my gosh, I know. I wouldn't have wanted her, but at the same time, I really did appreciate
Yes.
that she brought to the debate that we do need a leader who leads with empathy, because
Yes.
this is what happens when we don't have that.
Yes.
And for all the
Absolutely.
faults that Obama had, he wasn't perfect, but he led with empathy, and I think you see such a stark difference.
Yes,
You know?
entirely. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess just maybe try to. I would just try to challenge your feelings a little bit on the embarrassment front.
Mhm.
I've also felt that way with aspects of Canadian times in our politics, like with Stephen Harper, our Shark Boy killer. He was awful. Oh my God, talk about like not leading with empathy or compassion. What
Mm.
a sneaky snake. Um, but yeah, I think we're gonna get through it, and it's actually so interesting with COVID. People have time to think and protest, and people are
I know.
experiencing loss. Like, it's just, oh my God, I honestly think there's so many people who are upset with Trump and the state of America and how he's, and the military and this health crises. Like, you guys are at like 220,000 or something now
Something
deaths.
like that, yeah.
So yeah, I think shit's gonna change for the better. I think we all needed this. I can't believe 2020. Like, I actually I read this tweet where it was like, um 2020 is like a drunk driver that just keeps drinking
Oh
and
yeah,
driving and drinking and driving, and it's just like it just keeps going and going and going, and you're like,
for
when are you gonna
sure.
stop? um
And it won't even stop in November, even if he loses. It's not just gonna stop.
oh no,
Um,
he's gonna hold on with an icy grip. He's gonna
oh my
really
God.
hard.
It's gonna be, it's I just keep saying, if he loses, he'll call it fraud. If he wins, he'll say it was perfect. So it's just like,
Yeah.
no matter what will happen, he's gonna go out with, whether he goes out or stays, it's gonna be like a battle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because if he gets in, it'll potentially be because of rigging, the postal system.
For sure, but he won't think so.
Well, no, he won't say that.
No, of course not. It'll be perfect. The mail-in voting was perfect. There was no fraud.
Do you want to start?
But
Do you want to start a political show with me? You want to do this weekly?
I know we could probably talk for. I don't know how we even got here.
How
We
do
could
we
talk
get
for
here?
hours.
Oh, so you asked that blasted question.
Dude, your internet connection is like, God damn it! I should have stayed severed.
Yeah, stage 7. No, I'm
Um,
totally. Let me know if you want to do like a podcast on like from Canada to US. Like, we call it like
that could be
neutral.
so interesting too, because so many people that I know and see online and whatever, when he won, we're like, oh, we're going to Canada. And I'm like, you can't just, you're not going to like escape it all just by
Okay,
going to Canada.
did you know that our our website
Yes, I heard about that.
as we're all trying to get up here, going up north. Bring
You
your
know,
snowsuit.
I always kind of joked that I would go, but my my partner and I are kind of like, oh well, maybe it's like maybe we shouldn't go, like we should stay and try to like,
Yeah.
endure and like try to get us to the other side.
Right.
But that being said, there is probably a line where like if too much shit happens, I don't know, maybe we're packing it up.
Well, let me know. We can try and get you here. But yeah, I've had friends, you know, who are American citizens as well, who are like, you know, is it my social responsibility to come back? Like, I even had a friend of mine who was considering running in politics, like
Hmm.
doing some like municipal stuff. And
Oh, I think it's completely energized a lot of people.
oh, for sure. But he just couldn't do it, you know, like he just and finishing her PhD and they just like they couldn't make it work. Like they didn't have that kind of stability
Hmm.
um with yeah, with the country, with like knowing where it was going to go. So
Yeah.
you had to
Well, it's a
go.
very it's a very unsteady time.
Yeah.
So even if hopefully even if he does lose, it's not all getting erased, So it is just sort of this unsure time that's a little unsettling at times, but
Well,
I agree. I think we just have to try to stay strong and confront it more than trying to run away from it.
do you think if the whole world could vote, like say especially people that were like next door, like say the Canadians and like maybe some other countries that are like deeply affected by the states, because the thing is like the states is like an elephant. It's an
Oh, for
elephant, so
sure.
it moves. Everybody feels it, and we really feel it here in Canada
Yeah.
because you guys are right next to us. So when the elephant turns over, it's like bam.
Right.
But do you think the US's influence on the whole world and impact, like to have more of like international voting?
I don't know because then, well, first of all, that would never happen because no one in our
No.
government would ever pass that ever. But it could also maybe bring into question like motives, I guess. And I think it would be very complicated to trace and track and make sure it's not fraudulent. I
Mhm.
mean, we can barely keep a lid on our own contained
That's so
election,
true.
you
Yeah.
know? But I do understand the point because the US, maybe more than almost any country besides maybe China, is
Yeah.
so global,
Oh, totally.
So I do understand that. I do think at the very least, um, this fucking electoral college should be gone.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, I don't know. I admit
Totally. Who are these people?
I
I
know
don't know
very
them.
little about Canadian politics, but I don't know what the hell we're doing with this electoral college over here.
What are,
Makes no sense to me.
I guess it's just like governors and stuff, right? Where it's like we have like
I don't actually know who's part of it. Maybe I should do my research,
okay,
but
I'm gonna look it up right now, my friend. Give me ask your next musical question while I okay,
Oh yes, let me look at my notes.
okay, electoral okay. I found electoral college explained.
Oh
In the
god, is it
electoral
gonna
system, each state gets a certain number of electors based. Okay, this is still like really secretive. Number
Yeah,
of
I
electors
know we get
based.
electors, I just don't know who they are.
Okay, you get a certain based on its total number of representatives in Congress. Each elector casts one electoral vote following the general election. There are a total of 530 electoral votes. The candidate, okay, but who are they? Oh,
Yes,
who
oh,
is? Okay, that's what it is. Who is
yes.
the electoral college?
See, and that's the other thing that makes no sense. It's like, okay, we have the general election, and then these electors vote, but they like mostly have to vote based on how their state voted. But I
Yeah.
don't think they actually have to. They just
Oh, they just
don't
do.
go against it. I think they just do. Yeah. I could be totally wrong. Someone's gonna listen to this and send me like an InfoWars article
That's
about
cool.
how
Let's
wrong
do
I
it. And
am,
then we
but
can and then we can do like a I'm just like trying to get you to like put me on like a political podcast here,
hey,
but
I'll do it.
I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah, please. Whoever I was emailing to set this up, has my email, so just send me a message.
Yeah, my manager Seb. He's actually coming up today. That's Alex's brother. He's also our
Oh,
manager.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
keeping
I
it in the
emailed him when your
family.
internet went out, and then I emailed him when it came back.
Okay, great. You know what? It's like masked people. Like I'm not getting shit here, but it did
That doesn't
come up.
surprise me.
It did come up as who is Elon Musk when I looked up who's the electoral.
Who, let's start that podcast. Who is Elon Musk?
Okay, so I used to live with Claire Boucher. I lived with
Really?
her
Oh my
for a year and a
God.
half.
We need to start a podcast where you just tell me your stories.
No joke. I was living with her while she recorded what's that fucking record called? Visions.
Visions?
She was
Cool.
nuts.
Yeah.
She used to be a friend. Anyways, we don't need to talk about that.
We won't get too deep into that.
Nah, that's drama. I'd get like all of the Grimes fans being like, I hate you.
I'm probably already gonna get them. That's not true. I've tweeted about how much I didn't like her last album and no one came at me. So
Well, you know who people come, like, you know whose fans come after you?
Taylor Swift,
Yes.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, Lady Gaga too?
Let me tell you before we go, because I have to go soon.
Oh,
We're going on forever. But
that's cool. That's cool.
I mean, I could talk to you clearly for hours because
Yeah.
we're just rambling. But
Yeah, we're just going for it.
yeah. But no, I have to go edit a video. But
okay, cool.
But no, let me tell you, my first writing assignment for Beats Per Minute when they invited me in was to cover Chromatica. And I was like, okay, I guess, like, I'm not a huge Gaga fan, but I mean, I'll listen to it and I'll review it. And it was like fine, it was good. So I gave it like a 60 something, and I got so much hate mail.
Oh, because it was released May 29th, 2020.
Yeah, it was during COVID. It was my first album, my first like official album review, and they were like, wow, they came at me.
Yeah, Rolling Stone gave it a 4 out of 5, probably because they knew that like someone would come burn them down.
Oh God, and I'm not gonna name names, but that's with Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
I think that's a huge reason why so many people give her really, really, really positive reviews.
Okay, we're gonna get the fans after us right now.
I know.
Oh no one's
you know what? Honestly, I'm not sure that many Taylor Swift fans are going to listen this deep into any of my podcasts, to be honest. They probably already hate me. But the guy who did do the folklore review for Beats Per Minute gave it like a nice review. It was like a 75. It was a really well-written review. He got so much hate mail.
So did what is a woman
for Pitchfork. She gave it like an 8.
Yeah, actually,
and she really liked it, and they like doxed her.
Yeah, I worked with her actually on my last article for Pitchfork.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah, they completely doxed her. They leaked her address. Like, people are crazy.
Yeah.
Ugh, we could start a whole podcast about fandoms and how toxic they are.
Sure, I'm down.
Rather, standoms. That's
standoms. Yeah.
That's the toxic shit right there.
Yeah, standoms.
All right.
Okay, well, you go edit your video.
Well, we took we did. We actually, shockingly, we got through my notes.
Did we?
We did.
Cool.
My last question, I guess I can still ask it. Are there plans for Blue Hawaii to tour once the world opens back up?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's exciting.
Yes. I love being on stage with Blue Hawaii. It's so fun. Yeah.
I imagine it's a very different experience than being on stage with Braids, although both good, but very different.
Yeah, like in Braids, I'm like locked to the mic stand with a guitar, and Blue Hawaii, I just get to Alex and I just like riff off each other, and he says that I do this like really weird chicken walk with my neck, where I get really into it, and he's like, "You just look like a crazy dancing chicken." So
hey,
yeah,
whatever.
I'm down to go there again.
But you're gonna have like 2 bands to tour once the world opens back up.
Yeah, I also want to start a solo project called Raphaelle Overture.
Oh, I like it.
So I want to work with rappers, and I want to make a folk record. I kind of want to make like every genre of music.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are very different. But that reminds me sort of like Caroline Polachek, because she just put out that really good album last year.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. Super synthetic pop music, but then she as she was releasing it, she was like, yeah, well, my next record's gonna be folk.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, love it, great.
Yeah, rap to folk is like a little bit different from like, yeah, we'll see if I can,
we'll see what overtures you get into.
Well, Kendrick Lamar works with this woman named Anna Wise, who does she did Money Trees.
Mm-hmm.
She does the da 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 no way.
Okay.
Yeah, so he works with her with vocals and singing. So I don't know. I want to try to get in there.
Yeah. Just send them a little DM.
And I'm going to. I'll figure it out. But yeah.
wait, you cut out. I don't know what you're saying, right? As we're about to say goodbye.
I'm gonna hit you up about the political podcast. Let me know.
Let's do something. This was fun.
Yeah, it was great.
I enjoyed talking with you. Thank you for spending an hour of your time with me.
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your evening.
Okay, yeah, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.